أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you very much for coming today. We are continuing our discussion on the 18th word, and we are starting the third point. I find the third point very interestingly located, as the first point was talking about the veils that are around us and what's my real value, and it talked about the ego and nature. And then the second point was discussing how everything was created in the best way, and again mentioning the idea of veil. And today we will be discussing the verse that says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, if you do love God, follow me, God will love you. Okay. I think when I read this verse as a younger self, my initial reaction would be, well, why is there a condition to loving God, and why follow a person? And obviously I started to notice that my self-centeredness or my egoism is coming up in questions like, well, I mean, if I want to love God, I just want to love God in whatever way I want. Why am I required to follow someone as a human being in loving God? And who is this someone that I'm going to follow? Obviously, these questions are coming from a place where I think of myself as if I'm entitled to something in particular, or as if I understand what love is, and as if I know how things should be. Whereas, thankfully, different questions come up now when I read the verse, if you do love God, follow me, God will love you. Definitely the question of what is love, what does follow mean, how can I accept a man as a prophet, what is it like to become a follower, and what's so special about being a follower? And more specifically, what's so special about Muhammad, peace be upon him, to follow? Who is this person? I'm curious now. I'm interested to know more. Okay, so I'm ready to get into the paragraph with all these questions. Go ahead, Brother Hash.
I think we need to elaborate on the logic of this verse that you said. If we do, first of all, again, we will refresh our mind, which necessitates to set our mind in such a way that we are reading a book which claims to be our Creator is speaking. So we have to have a right attitude while we are reading the Quran, which claims to be my Creator's speech. So what am I expected now? The one who created me must be an absolute one. And my existence is very limited, not absolute at all. My abilities are completely limited and also in the form of manifestation, not original. I'm not originating anything in this world, but what I am doing, I am using what is created for me. So I have to understand that my Creator creates the things in such a way, this point is important, although he is absolute, but I can understand the universe. I can understand my limited creation by looking at my limited creation. I understand that what is manifested in my limited creation, the source must be absolute. But I cannot go other way around saying that God created me. I say I looked at myself and concluded my Creator was absolute because of the evidence in me. Now, this principle must, it's a very strong word, be followed in reading the Quran and trying to understand it. By definition, it says, I am your Creator and I'm speaking to you. As I spoke to you in your creation in a limited, according to your capacity, and you understand me according to your capacity, who I am. So I have to read the Quran or the verses. Now, this is, I see my Creator is speaking to me according to my capacity. And by looking at this verse as it spoke to me at my level, I can conclude that this word, this speech, belongs to the absolute knowledge. That is hard. Why? Because there are not many examples of it. That is number one problem. The second problem, when we say that Quran is God's word and stop there and start imitating the information, obtaining the information in quote unquote God's word, then we are as if studying the universe as created by God, so everything is his production, no evidence. Exactly the same problem rises there. Everything in creation is from God, so every sentence in the Quran is God's word. Read it as God's word and obey, rather than read it as see if it makes sense to you. As I look at the creation and I understand in a reasonable way that the creation cannot come into existence if I didn't attribute it to an absolute being. That is the logic of reading the Quran, which is rarely applied in the Muslim world. That is why it is strange to us to think in this way. Now, let's analyze this word, which is nothing but logical consistency appears to be in it. Because it is speaking to human beings. So if you do love God, if not a question saying that, do you really love God or not? Or why should I love God or not? If someone says, I looked at the universe, I understood this is created by an absolute being, and therefore, I enjoy the creation because the creation demonstrates to me that it is a gift from the absolute being. It is not a burden on it. It is just given to me, although I deserve nothing at all. No, he's a lovely God, isn't it? Giving to me everything freely. So I enjoy it. I like it. I enjoy it. Yeah. If you arrive at this conclusion that the Creator is favoring me for without expecting anything, it is my duty, but we have to worship. No, it is my duty to appreciate it. That is worship. So there are many ways of expressing one's worship, but that is worship. Essence of worship is if you pray, the essence must be this: appreciation. You are generous, you are great, you are absolute, and express it in prayer, fasting, giving to charity, whatever you do. It must be a way of expressing, all of them must be a way of expressing our gratitude to our God. By expressing our gratitude, we understand our reality, who we are. I have some properties, okay? It is not my property. I didn't create it. I am a farmer. I have some produce, harvest. No, it is granted. I asked, and he gave me. Own nothing. Yeah, I own nothing. Express it in your physical, bodily conditions within this worldly conditions. And if you say that it is given to me, if you arrive at this conclusion, then it is not yours. Admit it. Give it to others who are needy. Exactly the same way, if you do love God, if you concluded that, understood that, you cannot read this verse, somebody doesn't believe in the Creator at all. Because this is the first condition. Even somebody may believe, say that, oh, the universe needs a creator, but I'm not happy with him because he gave me illness, problems. Oh, this verse says, no, first you have to solve this problem and then come to me. So what we will understand from it, a very important principle in Islam, what the Prophet practiced. If someone doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in Islam, you cannot apply any principle to him or her. Someone lives in a place where people claim that we are Islamically administered. There is no such thing nowadays in the world, but assume that there was, then this person, this administration cannot apply Islamic rules to non-Muslims, although non-Muslims are welcomed. In Islam, that is the order of the Quran. Let them come and stay with you so that they may learn, they may hear the Quran. That is what Quran says. It is a very clear verse there. No one can interpret it in another way. Clear, simple language there. in this world. So we cannot close our doors to non-Muslims. They will come, and then the Quran says, mushrikun, idol worshippers, it was pagans. Even someone said, I don't believe in God, but I'm going to come and live in the world. Fiqh problem, this law application problem is aside. That is something special there for these people. The fiqh will ask if you break the rule, how can I treat with you? It's a completely different matter. It is not our subject now. What we can't really expel or close our doors to those people. They can come. Can we apply them? Look, you have to pray. No, this doesn't believe in Islam. That what we understand here, the first problem must be solved first. Without solving the first problem, which is believing in the Creator and how he treats me and my understanding of God and his guidance. Do I need guidance? So Islam comes after belief and submission. So if I am even believing in God, if I am not ready to submit, you cannot apply Islamic rule to me. So I hear horrible, disgusting news from Afghanistan. Now, in the name of what? They are committing crime, and it is just a criminal act to me to punish people who have not been educated in Islam. That's the contradiction, obvious contradiction. You have not educated people. They say we are Muslims. They don't know what they really mean by Islam. And you are applying Sharia rules to them. And first of all, they cannot apply Sharia rules themselves because they took over the administration by themselves. It is essentially against Islam. Their legitimacy is not Islamic, but they claim to be administering Islamically, administering the society Islamically. Contradiction. We should be very careful. First, Iman must be established. Second, submission must be done. And then you can apply, say, look, since you claim that you submitted yourself consciously to Islamic life, then you are expected to pray. You express yourself because it is the necessary consequence of your claim, belief, and submission. Without going through this, we cannot do it. So if someone goes through belief and submission and understand that God is really a loving being, and I love him, he's treating me so well, so I am ready to submit myself to his will. So I will organize my life accordingly. That is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, don't read, follow me. Why should I? Why? If you have not gone through this stage of loving God, how can you follow somebody else in the name of God? Contradiction. So this verse, if you do love God, is a condition if you have passed through these stages. Understood? And there is a friend here, so excuse me. So let's assume that, alhamdulillah, we all have passed through this stage. Inshallah. So, says, follow me. Follow whom? Of course, in the original, I don't have this here, do I? You can write here actually. Radwa, you can write in the beginning, say, comma, if you do love God. But why, if I is minuscule, why the author didn't say? Because in the culture, these are the details that we have to know. This person, this author is so meticulous. In the culture, when you put say, they will say, the prophet will say, not me. No. It will include definitely, first of all, prophet and then me. But how? These are, I know I'm going to speak a lot, but these are so essential matters that without being enlightened, without being sure of what we are doing, we cannot talk about Islam. Especially, we cannot talk about the Quran. We should just shut up. We have to know what we are reading, what conditions are, and the definitions of it, principles of reading, and then we can, of course, we read for ourselves and try to benefit, but we shouldn't try to teach other people without really knowing the principles. Unfortunately, most of the people who are the advocates of Islam have knowledge without any principle. That is what attracts my attention, and it is a very horrible situation of the Muslim world. Information, transformation of information is everywhere. Principles, no. Taking for granted belief, taking for granted submission, and taking for granted everybody has passed this. Whoever says, I am Muslim, they are Muslim because they found themselves in a Muslim community. That's it. If they were born in Christianity, we know that they would be a Christian. Here is the table of the demography of the world. Obvious. All the people are born in America identify themselves with some, as some friends are exceptional, identify themselves with Christianity. Why? Have they ever read Bible? No. All the people in the Muslim world, go and see, majority of them, 90% of them, 95% of them, ask them, have you ever read the Quran? No. How can you say I'm a Muslim? You haven't. You are not, I can say you are not a Muslim, but you have no base. So these people, everybody is responsible for themselves, and we cannot take these people as confirmed Muslim people. No, they are taken for granted cultural Muslim people. So we have to know that they need establishment of the base. That's why Nursi says, if you do love God, now rather than saying that, oh, follow me up, the prophet will say, follow me, don't jump. First establish this. That's why he took say off in order to make his, not because he is destroying the verse, because he is speaking and quoting the verse according to the capacity of his audience. He's very clever. He knows what he's doing. So we have to bear in mind, after being convinced that if you do love God, and I'm continuing now, if you follow the prophetic example, and you can say that I can offer you that you will have a life which is loved, appreciated by your creator. I can apply it to myself as well now. Saying that, for example, Ali, you have to follow the prophet in such a way that you will be somehow representing Islam so that they will learn from you something. They will follow you. If you are not really practicing and representing Islam as it is, you cannot ask them to follow me. Mind yourself. If you speak about the Quran, you have to have your exemplary life. Which you learned from the prophetic exemplary life. So that you can say, look, I am a Muslim, I am doing this, I am very happy. So you please do the same thing as I am doing, according to my capacity. As much as I have trained myself under the guidance of the Quran and the prophetic exemplary life. That is a general, because I am saying, I'm reading the Quran, it says say, okay? I will say, if you do love God, I'm speaking to somebody else, if you do love God, or if you are convinced that your belief is firm and your submission is unconditional, then follow what I am doing. But I must be somehow have some ingredients of the prophetic tradition practiced in my life. Then you will see that God will love you. What does it mean? You will see that you are happy in your life in terms of being a creature of God. It means if you are happy, it shows that you are loved by your Creator, because happiness is created by Him. You will understand that God is loving me because I'm very happy in my way of living in this world according to Quran and the prophetic example. So how should I know God will love me? You will know. If you are welcomed by someone, don't you know that he loves you? Yeah, that's a sign. So when I am happy with my existence, it means my existence is welcomed by my Creator as I treated Him, as I treated my life, my existence. So this is now last part of the verse. But we have to understand, if you do love God, follow me, this stage, then you will understand that your Creator is happy with you. He's ready to give you more and more and more. So the more you receive happiness in your existence, the better, brighter sign you see that God is happy with you. Don't cheat yourself. What do I mean by cheating myself? Now, I am happy drinking champagne or drinking, I don't know, smoking something, any drugs or any kind of, I am happy with artificial happiness. Why do you intoxicate your mind? Because you are not happy. You just wanted to ignore your pains, meaninglessness, the pains of meaningless life. It's cheating, and also saying that, no, I don't believe, I don't care anything. I will enjoy myself, but your feelings will never let you enjoy yourself, because you know that you are going to lose everything in this world, and then you become nothing. So your life is equal to zero. How can you be happy with it? Impossible. It's a human being. So you will understand that real happiness, for example, death is coming. Okay. I was nothing, and I was given existence by a one. Now, who is giving me death? The same one. As he gave me existence, I was happy, and I've seen that he treated me in this world. I was happy with him. And he gives me death, of course. the feeling doesn't like it, it doesn't mean that. It means that I shouldn't kill anyone. I shouldn't kill myself. And I desire eternal happiness. That is from him again. By creating death, telling me you are worth of eternal happiness. And I'm preparing it. I prepared it already for you. So just get ready for it. Why should I bother about death? Why should I bother about illness? Why should I bother about happening something in my life that I don't like? I should say, yo, I don't like this. Please, God, take it from me and address to God. And do your business. Of course, your responsibility, you are given free will to choose and decide one way or another. But at the same time, never lose your trust in your God. Even death comes, welcome. It is coming from a loving God. A loving person harms you deliberately? No. But there is no accident in the world. There is nothing is happening in this world unwise, without any wisdom. So there must be wisdom in death. Well, I understand. Death is not frightening a believer. Why? I understand that my capacity is not satisfied with my body now. So I need another body, bodily existence, resurrection, so that I will practice, because I am sure God is loving me, but I have to see that his love is immense, infinite. I want to experience his infinite love, but in this world is limited, I can't. So I need another type of creation. So he says, yes, I'm going to give you, definitely, as long as you are honest within your creation, within your existence. So you are happy if anything is given to you in a favor, and you express thankful. So your duty is nothing. You are not expected to serve me. Just express your feeling. Be honest within yourself. That's it. Prayer, fasting, all these activities is expressing your happiness by following his offer, the way you will follow your life, so that you will be happy. When you pray, don't you feel happy? When you thank somebody who favored you something, don't you feel happy? If you go to a house and the host is entertaining you very well, and then you leave the house without saying anything, thank you, and blah, 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 that's, I found it. That is accidental, randomly happened, that. And do you think you will be happy? Do you think the host of the house will invite you again? That is human. You know that the host will say, this human reasoning, he will say, this man is really an arrogant man. He didn't even say thank you. He said, I found it. Well, he denied me. So it means he is not in good terms with me. It means he doesn't love me. Why should I invite him again? That is hell. This is very human. We treat in this way, regardless of we are religious or not. We treat everybody like this. If someone is disrespectful to me, I don't want to face with him again. But for a just reason, I love him or her, but for nothing, he just keeps insulting me. And then, do you think I will enjoy being together with him? No. I will run away from him. That is regardless of my belief or anything. That's human. So by using this sense, I have to understand that my Creator has given this sense to me so that he will treat me in this way. I will understand him. All the qualities, human qualities, are given to us in order to understand who our master, owner, Lord, sustainer is. Who gave me existence? He's introducing himself to me through the qualities he has endowed on my existence. So obvious, so logical. I'm very, very, very happy with the logic of this verse. If you do love God past this stage, then you have to follow his suggestions to you. Get in touch with him. Then you will feel that God will love you. I don't know what God does. You will feel that your Creator is happy with you because you are happy in your life. So if Iman doesn't bring happiness to me, there's a problem. If I see religious, they call it religious duties, rituals, are burden on us, there is a problem. It means first stage has not been established. So go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Sorry for a long talk, but this verse is the foundation of, base of the following argument, which is very, very important to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay. Since in the universe there is observedly beauty of art, or obvious, beauty of art, and this is certain, it necessitates with a certainty as definite as actually witnessing it, the messengership of Muhammad, peace be upon him. For the beauty of art and finely ornamented forms of these beautiful creatures show that their fashioner possesses a significant will to make beautiful and powerful desire to adorn. And this will and desire show that the maker possesses an elevated love and sacred inclination towards the perfections of the art he displays in his creatures. And this love and inclination require to be turned towards and concentrated on man, the most enlightened and perfect individual among beings. And man is the conscious fruit of the tree of creation. And the fruit is the most comprehensive and furthest part, the part with the most general view and universal consciousness. And the one with the most comprehensive view and universal consciousness should be the most elevated and brilliant individual, who will meet with and be addressed by that beauteous maker, who will expend his universal consciousness and comprehensive view entirely on the worship of his maker, the appreciation of his art, and offering thanks for his bounties. Okay, any questions here or reflections?
So dense, so dense.
Yes, I don't know what to say.
Yes, but extremely briefly, which kind of conclusion the author arrived from the verse follows 8 stages, but extremely briefly. We need to talk each of them for each stages to clarify what it really means, why is it here, and how am I going to go process from there in order to understand and come to the conclusion that really, if I do God, if I love God, if I follow his messenger, then God will love me. How am I going to convince about it? If someone doesn't go through these stages, for this person, there are 2 options. One is, yeah, I am a Muslim if I follow Sunnah, which is say Bismillah in the beginning of drinking water, eating, and say Alhamdulillah at the end, and then God will love me. For some people, it may be satisfactory, none of my business. But in this age, new generation can never accept this, and will never accept this. This is extremely shortcut. We have to go stages. The Quran must be studied by following these stages. We say Muhammad is our prophet. It is nonsense. Why? How did you come to this conclusion? I found it in the culture. Yeah, the other one says Buddha is my leader. Confucius is my leader. Why? Some people said in the past, Hitler my leader, Stalin my leader, is my leader. Why? They said, I like it. You follow the culture. What do you mean? I'm a Muslim. I am a German. Super blood. Yeah. I am a chosen people. What do you mean? Why? That's why I am. God chose me. That's his baseless claims. So I am a Muslim because God created me as a Muslim. In the Muslim community, my destination to become a Muslim. Why? Because I was created in a Muslim community. I was created in a Christian community. This is not belief at all. But some people may be satisfied with it, but new generation will never, ever be satisfied with this. So the author is saying, look, since in the universe there is obvious beauty of art, look at this logic. He never says the Quran says so. But put the verse there and expected us understand that this verse must be understood through going 8 stages at least in an extremely summarized way. One has to write a book about it. So first of all, do you see beauty of art in the creation? Do you see beauty? Well,
Yes.
we are not talking about creation. Yes, we understood that the things exist. Do you see their beauty of art? For example, all right, strawberries are created. Do you see beauty on it? Bananas are created. Do you see beauty on it? Beautified, colored, decorated, prepared, packed. And also inside is wonderfully designed beauty. The children love snow in Christmas. Why? Beauty. They will play, enjoy it. So we have to understand beauty is essential in the creation. Is there any created being with doesn't have decoration? The bugs, we don't like them. Take them and put them under the microscope and see how they are dressed. Beautiful, admire. Yep. But it doesn't mean that I have to bring them into my bedroom. No, that is different. We don't like snakes. Look at them. If somebody is able to get the snake and skin it and make a boot with this snake skin, leather, how much is it? At least $1,000-$2,000. Why? We don't like snakes. Why? Why people see a bird which is not accustomed to it? The accustomed one seems to be doesn't have decoration. We are used to. Familiarity is the horrible thing. But that is how we develop familiarity. So if we see something very decorated bird, the first thing what we do, take a picture and send it to, look at this bird. I've never seen this. Look at the beauty of it. These people may be unbelievers, not believing in God, but we love nature. Okay. Nature decorated it how? Randomly. Every creature is so-called randomly decorated. Why? In the same forest or environment, there are 1,000 different, maybe more, creatures. I mean, obvious ones are deers and, I don't know, horses, cats, dogs. That's what we are familiar with. But if you go into the earth, how many different kinds of creatures you would find, how many different kinds of trees and plants, and every one of them is decorated in a different way. In the same environment, they should have the same color according to this meaningless, irrational explanation of evolution. Yeah, surviving. In this atmosphere, you have to have brown color. But you see blue, you see white, you see black, you see green, and red. Every kind is mixed up, and all of them are beautifully designed and symmetric. How can you solve it? How can you say randomly happening by itself, by an atom or particle? We have to really be convinced first that this is just a nonsense claim. It means a helpless claim. They don't want to submit themselves to the Creator. Helpless. What shall I do now? I will claim that there's no Creator. I will prove it. What shall I do? Which kind of excuse I will invent? That is how I see it. This is essential. Everybody is misled with these presentations. So first, beauty of art, if you see it, and then the author says, Nursi says, this is certain if you are convinced about it without cheating yourself, saying that randomly happened, impossible, illogical, it necessitates with a certainty, it means logical conclusion, certainty as definite as actually witnessing it. So it is logically consistent and consistent with my witnessing, seeing, observing what is going on in this world without taking any pre-accepted belief. That is how it is. Why, when it is spring, I can find very easy parking spot? Why? People go to other places to enjoy themselves. So the cars have moved out, pulled out, so I can find easily. When it is stormy, no way to find a parking place in my residence area. I think the friend is here. You may notice that. Yeah. So, if it is so, everybody loves it, then the author says, look, as the verse says, the messengership of Muhammad, we can make it a general statement. The messengership, institution of messengership is definitely must be. For reason, he's giving the reason. I know I took over today the class for the beauty of art and finely ornamented forms of these beautiful creatures show that their fashioner possesses a significant will to make beautiful. It cannot be attributed to random happenings. This must be realized by a one who designed it, fashioned it in a perfect way, in a significant way, so that he loves beauty. He possesses the quality of beauty, so he creates everything beautifully. So the Arabic word is Jamil. The creator must be Jamil. What? Has the or possesses the quality of making things beautiful. So the significant, this fashioner will he has a significant will to make beautiful and powerful desire to adorn. He is desiring it. Now, at this stage, let's stop. He wants beauty. He wants harmony. He wants everything must be happy with his existence. If you have something in your skin, what do? I mean, makes you look a bit not beautiful according to the understanding of the general culture. What people do now, surgical, how do you say, what's surgical? No.
Plastic surgery.
They have surgical. What surgical? Beauty, not beauty.
Plastic surgery.
Sorry?
Plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery.
Plastic. No, I thought,
Plastic surgery.
yeah, I thought our friend is in the plastic. I said, what was it?
Someone doesn't like something on their.
No. The name of the word.
Plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery. Yes. Why? You want beauty. According to your understanding. Now here, the creator wants everything beautiful. So I have to do something beautiful in my life. That is why I have to learn how to make my life beautiful, enjoyable. That is what the messengership is needed. Somebody must be representing how I can make my life beautiful according to this beauty-loving Creator's will. I hope this makes sense. For the beauty of art and because the beauty of art and finely ornamented forms of the thing, these beautiful creatures show that their fashioner possesses a significant will to make beautiful and powerful desire to adorn. So why did he conclude about the messengership? He will tell us now why. Because in the third stage, this creator wills to make beautiful and he wants to make beautiful and powerful desire to adorn. So he will desire me, how I should turn my life, my existence in a beautiful way and perfect adornment. How can I make it? My life now. My creation is beautiful, but how about my will, my free will? How can I use my free will so that I will not destroy my beautiful existence? At least keep it as it is created beautifully. So I need training. I need example education. Now, this is the third stage. I don't know. I'm being a bit very boring, so I would like to stop here and then maybe go on next week from the fourth stage. What do you think? I spoke a lot. I'm ashamed of it.
No, it's fine. Really, it's fine. Don't apologize.
It's okay. If you're comfortable stopping here, I think it's okay. But if you feel like you want to...
I think we have a lot.
I didn't really follow, Brother Lee, how you went to the second stage from the first one. So we see beauty and art. So that signifies that the one, whoever created that beauty and art, that's his message.
So he said, if there is a beauty, as in, how do you say, a theorem, if there is a beauty, there must be messengership. Why? Of course, we asked him, what is it to do with it? And he continues the stages. Why messengership is necessary. And the rest of the text, inshallah, we will read next week, will explain why messengership is necessary just because there is a beautiful creation or there is beauty in the creation of the universe. This is just a theorem. First premises. The following premises will be providing the reason for it. Now, the third, we understood that this creator, the creator's will to make beautiful and powerful desire to adorn, wants to adorn, wants to make beautiful. So my life is included in this desire. My life, the way I live, must be beautiful as well. So he is now preparing, the author is preparing our mind that How can I make my life beautiful so that I will keep harmony with the universe? As it is created, everything is beautiful. Who doesn't like watching the star documentations? Galaxies. Everybody, millions of people, if there is new galaxy found out, you see the viewers, how many millions of people love it, if not billion. Everybody is amazed. Beautiful. How can I make my life beautiful then? That is why he concluded that at the beginning, if there is beauty, messengership is necessary. And then we have to put a big question mark there. Why? And he says, well, no, that is why I'm going to explain to you. Inshallah, this is the fourth one. I have to, he wants my life beautiful as well. But do I turn it into ugly? Transgressing other people's right, not appreciating the beauty. Remember the example of the guest, not thanking and leaving the house after burping. Oh, that's it, I'm fine, I'm going. Not even doesn't say bye-bye. Thank you, no. So do you think this man's life is beautiful? How can I do that? How can I make my life? I need training. That is why he will continue the reasoning, why we should end up with saying that, really a messenger, a teacher, to teach me how to make my life beautiful. And I will say, yeah, it makes sense. So first premise, everybody says that first premise is an assumption. Then the following premises are the ways of proving this assumption right or wrong. Thank you. That is, I'm done now. For today, it is too much. I am ashamed of. But I felt that this need. Otherwise, text doesn't seems to be saying something, but I don't understand. We have to not, we shouldn't hurry really. Especially, why should I follow a prophet? Not because, as the culture says, it is only 1 out of 1,000 is right, not wrong. But if there was no prophet, we wouldn't know how to pray. Yeah, that is correct, but we cannot convince anyone because I don't need to pray. I don't feel the need to pray. What are you talking about? So, this is reality, and we have to really admit that to believe in the messengership of a person, ordinary man, especially mostly not prominent figures, philosophers, like innocent as the cells of a tree. I don't know. I don't claim anything. Why? I am created in this way. You cannot see any quality which really causes what I am producing from myself. No, I am created in this way. So it is a messenger. What? Atom is a messenger. Atom is a messenger saying, I am, for example, give me a very simple, general example. Every brick in the building is so innocent. They don't really, when I look at them, this brick, these bricks made the building beautiful. No one says this because bricks are innocent. Why? How? But what I mean by innocent, when you look at the brick stays there, is there, where they are put, nothing else. As if with their own being, they are declaring, it is not me who prefer to be here. Somebody else put it me. I am nothing. I am just a tool or a means for the builder, for the architect. This is obvious to see that prophets are like this. Prophets never claim that this is my finding, that is my work, that is my choice. No, never. As a prophet, as a prophet. As a human being is different, as a prophet. So the prophets are usually uneducated people, and they are usually presented in the Quran for almost nobody in the society. And then here, Yusuf, a imprisoned person. Who is it? Slave. He was the slave in somebody's house. Nobody. Prophet Muhammad, but just a shepherd profession and orphan, which is very important in a society that lineage is so important. So shepherd, no. Orphan, no support from family background, nothing. And I don't know. Jesus didn't receive an education in a rabbinic teaching institutions, but went to the temple and started preaching. And all the rabbis were jealous of him and with him. And they said, who are you? You haven't received any education in Torah, and now you are not only reading the Torah, narrating the Torah, but interpreting it in any way and saying that this is wrong. This is something added later on. The original is this. Look, innocent man. Examples, all of them. For example, Moses is an immigrant in Egypt and belongs to a slave tribe. Children of Israel were slaves. Oh, that's the last minute I have to stop. Slaves in Egypt. Egyptians, the original nation. Like undocumented immigrants. The origin of Moses is this. You understand that the prophets are presented us as innocent as a brick in the building. But they are, because of this, they have no claim, but they have questions, concerns. God says, okay, I'm going to educate you and present you, through you, my guidance to deserve my love for the people, that they will deserve my love. So we have to understand this nature of the prophets. So any attempt to elevate the status of Muhammad in the society, saying that he was a trustful person, yeah, he was the most honest, belonged to the most honorable lineage. This goes against the definition of prophet. Unfortunately, again, this crime is committed a lot in Muslim society. The extreme example of it in Christianity. Made it God, made Jesus God, on a form of God. Divine being. That is what the prophet in his life was very, very careful not to have a special status among his people. To wear the same, eat the same, live in the same level, and not treat it specially at all, but whatever I convey to you, take notice of it. This is not me from God. Why? I am nothing, you know that. Historically, everybody knows that the prophet didn't know how to do that, right? No education. Well, we have to understand the beauty of this modesty of the prophet's life, rather than trying to elevate it and make it high. and make the Mecca, the city of Mecca, the center of business of the world. Absolutely nonsense. It's a small town, ordinary small town. Only a handful of crazy rich people used to go and get some goods, merchandise from up and down Syria and exchange it. That's it, selling the things to Meccans only. Nothing, no one can say that, you know, the people from India used to come and take. On the contrary, Meccan people used to get their clothes from India or China through that time Damascus. It means Syria and Lebanon, and getting some other things from Roman Empire productions or Yemen civilization. The best sort was Indian salt, famous, very expensive. Why? They couldn't make it. They know how to treat leather only because they are running animal farming. That's it. Why do we really want to give a value to the material being of the prophet and putting in or shedding a shadow on the messengership? I don't understand. That is nothing but our complex, inferiority complex. We have to think a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anne
that-
says something. Anne says something. Did you read?
I was about to read it. She's just asking if we can go over the stages again next week because the stages aren't completely clear to her.
I understand. It is so dense. I understand. We can do that if moderator thinks it is appropriate.
Yes, definitely. I think yeah, we can do that next week, and if you even have more specific questions, that would be helpful. All right, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for listening or participating. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم